What's going on, guys? Welcome back into the San Francisco Giants franchise here on MLB The Show 21. As we stand coming back and picking things up where we left off, we are sitting at 70 and 37. So we're in a really good position here to move through the month of August and try to finish things out. Now, we have some really interesting things going on today. Unfortunately, I'm not going to have a lot of time to play games, but we can get this season moving along to the month of September, which is where the real important stuff's going to happen, and it's really going to come down to the wire, I think, on whether we're going to be able to hold this division against a very strong Dodgers team or not. So let's go ahead and get advancing through this month and see what we can do. I'm going to go ahead and live sim out that Pittsburgh series, so we do get the 3-game series sweep against them. You guys will see I played a lot of games here at the beginning of the month of August, and we scored a lot of runs. We actually have a lot of players that are performing really well, and I'll dive into that here in a second. Really, I just want to highlight where the lineup is at with everything. So Tyler Black is sitting at a 252 average with 8 home runs in 310 at-bats. We also have Jacob Gonzalez, the third baseman, who has obviously been splitting time, who had 198 at-bats, close to a 300 batting average. Mauricio Dubon, I think, is bouncing back at this point in the season. He's batting 264. And then Joe Adell has finally come on and finally got his bat going. I don't know if this is going to hold. I don't know if this will be consistent, but I am excited to see that he has his batting average up to 250, which is a far improvement from where it was down in the 100s and even below 100 at earlier points in the season. Steven Duggar is batting at 220, so he has not been fantastic for us, and obviously you guys can see that the lineup is shifted around a little odd right now. Elliot Ramos, though, has been our superstar at this point in the season, so he is up to 314 in only 121 at-bats and 8 home runs. He's got a big amount of power, and he is showing it. You guys can see up there at the top that his power ratings aren't like off the charts or anything like that, but he is having a lot of success and putting the ball out of the park, and he very well could be our power hitter that we've been looking for some time now. Buster Posey continues to play strong, batting 296, 14 home runs, 47 RBIs in 374 at-bats. Honestly, no surprises there. He's playing fantastic. Joey Bart continues to play very strong, 286 average, 12 home runs, 39 RBIs, playing really well and getting mixed reps with Buster Posey. And then Marco Luciano, who is a player that was also struggling at the plate, is now up to 236, and 15 home runs. So that is something that I find extremely valuable, is that our top prospect guys like Marco Luciano, Elliot Ramos, and Joe Adell are all stepping up in big ways, and that could propel us right into a very nice playoff run. That is what we are trying to have happen. We're trying to just get guys that can kind of all step up and perform at the same time, get a little bit of luck, and we've had success there. Blaze Jordan on the bench, batting 233 with 9 home runs, so his bat's been all right, and obviously he's been splitting time at third base. Kendall Simmons, 326 average in 43 at-bats, so we brought him up from AAA. He was doing fantastic down there in AAA, so we brought him up, and he continues to do a very nice job out there. Williams Astudillo, always consistent, 244 average, 2 home runs. Obviously not the best in the world, but always a consistent bench bat and defensive player if we need him. And then Logan Wyatt at first base has been stepping up a little bit, 238 average and 8 home runs. So you guys can see that our lineup, the CPU is managing our lineup right now, and it's a little bit odd. They have Buster Posey coming in and playing first base and stuff like that, which is fine, totally fine, and I know that we've had viewers suggest doing that in the past. The team just playing really well at this point. Not much to say in terms of the pitching rotation. Let's go ahead and get advancing through the month and see what we can get done here in the rest of the month of August. So our next series here is going to be against Washington. Let's go ahead and sim one game. We do get a first game win against Washington, 7-5. We're going to lose the second game 3-5. Let's see if we can't get a series win, and we actually lose that series, going down 3-5 in both of those last 2 games. So that's going to put us at 73 and 39, and we are now 3 games ahead of the Dodgers, who are 70 and 42. So not in a bad spot. Let's go ahead and play Seattle. We do get both wins in strong fashion, 5-0 and then 11-7. So that is certainly going to help us out going into this crucial Dodgers series. This Dodgers series is going to be absolutely huge to determine where we fall in terms of the standings. If they beat us and swept us 4 games, they could tie us with where we're at. So let's go ahead and get through that series and see what happens. So we are going to come away with 3 out of 4 games here against the Dodgers, surprisingly enough. So they won the first game, and honestly, at that point, I was thinking, well, maybe this isn't going to go perfectly our way, but then, we came out strong offensively against them, going, 4-1 game, 14-4 game, and a 4-2 game. I'll take that all day long. Let me go ahead and sim through this Colorado series and see what we can get done against them. They do get a 2-game series win against us. We pick up the first one, and now we have these last 2 series of the month. We've got the Padres and the Pirates, and then going into the month of September, we will have the Diamondbacks followed up by the A's. We will have the Dodgers again there in the middle of the month, and then our final few series of the year, we'll have the Dodgers in a 3-game series, the Mets, and the Padres. So a very tough stretch to finish up the year. So that'll be interesting to see what happens at the end of the season for us. But right now, again, we're sitting at 79-42. So 6 games ahead. We're playing really well. Let me go ahead and just sim through the end of the month, see what happens. Okay, so we picked up a fair amount of losses. So we did lose the Padres series, and we actually lost this series to the Pirates. The Pirates coming back and getting some revenge against us for sweeping them earlier on. That's going to get us through the month of August and into the month of September. So these series here, these games are all going to be absolutely crucial because we are now sitting at 81-46, so we are now 4 games ahead of the Dodgers. I think that's strong enough to keep us in it. I think that's strong enough to carry us to victory and take us to a division win. And I think we should be able to get into the playoffs and get ourselves into a series and give ourselves a really nice chance to make something happen in the playoffs. Just a quick update here on our injured reserve list. We only have a couple of players on the injured list, and that's going to be left fielder Connie Staub and starting pitcher Theodore Min. Both of these guys are minor leaguers, so not a huge deal for us. We are going into the end of the season very healthy, and that is an absolute key for us because we were picking up a lot of injuries around the mid-season point, around the trade deadline, around the All-Star break. But we're getting just great performances all around from the pitching staff, from the bullpen, from the fielding staff. So really in a good position to move forward here and continuing to power forward and get ourselves into the spot we want to be in. I do find it interesting if we can highlight here on the main screen under critical situations, you'll see our logo, and then you see where we're ranked in terms of everything. So this has fluctuated quite a bit depending on the moves we've made and everything throughout our time in this franchise. We are ranked 14th overall. We have 6th in contact, 25th in power, 4th best pitching staff, 29th in defense, and 7th in speed. So that's kind of how I traditionally build my teams is contact pitching and speed. What we're missing, obviously, is the power, and we're missing, apparently, the defense. I figured we would have been better in defense, but we have a lot of guys that still have a ways to go, so that's probably part of what's contributing to that. I would like to continue to build these guys up, but I think regardless of what happens this season, our focus needs to be developing some power or going out and finding some power for this team as we go forward. So maybe with the departure of Buster Posey, if he retires or something like that, or if we choose not to re-sign him, we may come upon a situation that just yields the ability to sign somebody with big power, and I think that could be very beneficial to us. So we'll be looking out for that as we move forward, and that's one of my main concerns, or one of my main focuses going forward is, regardless of what happens this season, no matter how successful we are, we need to address that power. That's something we've been lacking for a while, and I would really like to see somebody from our team be able to compete in the home run derby. That's just a personal goal of mine as the coach of this organization, or the manager rather. So with all that being said, that's where we stand finishing up today's video. I just wanted to get a quick one for you, and we will be diving more into this, especially now that I was able to finish that Oilers franchise on Madden. We'll be able to spend a little bit more time here on MLB The Show, and I do want to continue this franchise and maybe maybe even do more tips and tricks videos on MLB The Show that I haven't covered yet, because I have some ideas. So, with all that being said, leave a like on the video, comment down below, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hope you have a good one.